Hi, this is Blythe Klippel coming to you from the Motherlode of Northern California. I'm also known as the Country Loft Stamper. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 1996, and this is my first video after all that time. And what I want to show you today is one of my absolute favorite go-to items, also called the Framelit. You've got to have seen Stampin' Up's Framelits. If you haven't, then you will today. So stand by and let's have a little peek. I'm going to make just a very simple birthday card that you can do. This set right here is the Apothecary Accents Framelits. They're just wonderful. I use them all the time. The one we're going to be using is this one here. They're a little bit fragile, but also tough. So you just lift it off the tape, set that aside, take a piece of cardstock. In this case, I've already stamped my image so that I'm sure to get it in the middle of my frame. And I'm just going to lay my frame. You see this little ridge here? You can feel the ridge. Put the ridge, which is the cutting edge, over your colored image, your stamped image. Just center it on there. Don't know what that was. Get that back on there. Okay. I'm going to open up both tabs of my Big Shot. And I have to tell you, I could not live without the Big Shot. It is just such a wonderful tool. I use it for almost every card in one way or another. So now I'm just going to realign my image, make sure it's good. I've got a well-used standard cutting pad below, standard cutting pad on top, and I'm just going to give this a little push through. Give it a crank. Guess what? I've got it on the wrong setting. So, come back. I think I need these both closed. There, we're going to do that. I'm going to double check and make sure that my framelit is still the way it should be. There we go. Set my other cutting pad on top. Put it into position and begin sliding it through the Big Shot. You can tell if it's going correctly in the Big Shot because it needs to give you a little resistance, not no resistance at all. And I was getting no resistance on the other one. So I've taken this through, remove that, just punch my image right out from the back, and there it is. Remove my framelit, and I'll put it back on the package where it came from. We will not be needing the Big Shot anymore today. So I'll just move it aside. And now, here's my card front. I've also run it through the Big Shot using the wallpaper. Sorry, I'm going to have a crash. This is life in a stamping room. Using the vintage wallpaper textured impressions plate. We'll do these another day, but they're awesome. And it gives you this image. So next is a layer of 4 1/4 by 2 1/8 eggplant, elegant eggplant cardstock. I'm going to take my snail adhesive. Just put a bit on the top, bottom, and sides. I like my paper, my cardstock to stay on the card that I'm going to send to someone. And then I'm just going to center it left, right, top, bottom as best I can on there. Then I have a piece of old olive cardstock, 4 inches by 1 7/8 inch. Again, I'm going to just layer that on. Centering it on the elegant eggplant. Okay, and now before I put this piece on, I'm going to stamp this greeting. It is the Happy Birthday Wishes greeting from the Petite Pears stamp set. This is a wonderful stamp set. It's got so many go-to greetings. So anyway, elegant eggplant stamp pad. Keep it all coordinated. Wonderful thing about Stampin' Up! Paper, cardstock, ink, markers, everything matches. Everything coordinates. And this is a newer stamp pad, so it's not, doesn't move real easily yet. That's called stamp art on your fingers. So I'm just going to ink this up. And with the new pads, this is a firm foam, one of the newest pads, the newer style pads, you don't need to ink it as hard as I just did. And I always, no matter what, go to the bottom of my grid paper and just do it once to make sure that with my wood mount right along the bottom of my ruler to make sure that it's going to go as straight as I hope it is. So now I'm going to just ink this up, and right across the stems, just give it a, and that's all I do. Touch it lightly to the paper, lightly in the middle, and there's my greeting. Now I can turn that over, put some adhesive on it. The ink dries quite quickly, but you don't want to be smearing it around with your finger or anything. I'm going to set this and hope that my measurements don't show. Set this right in the center of the card. And then the final touch is some of the basic pearls, jewels from Stampin' Up! And I'm just going to take two little jewels, and I use a tweezer, and just slide it off. I'm going to put one at the bottom, one at the top, and we have a finished card. Now how hard was that? You didn't have to cut out this piece. The Framelit does such a nice job of just punching it out for you, getting your image centered. And if you wanted to, well, next video, I'll show you what, if you wanted to, you could do this. So stand by for the next video. That's it for today. I'm so glad you joined me, and making this first video was not nearly as bad as I thought it might be. So thank you very much for stopping by. Bye-bye.